Hi guys. Nobody's here right now. Let me change some things. I don't know why I need to put my volume up, but I did. Feeling like Mrs. Claus in this outfit right now. Um, but yeah, I figured I would go live because it's been so long. I think it's probably been since the summer and it's Christmas. So yeah, I don't know. I missed it. And I guess now we have a new topic to talk about. Before it was doula work, now it's pregnancy and kind of just like whatever comes up. But I did realize that it's probably not a good time tonight for a live. But that's okay. It's the night before Christmas Eve and I'm ready to talk, and my crazy cat is running around like a psycho. So that's gonna be funny, I'm sure. But right now I'm getting all my like gifts together, and I need to wrap Jared's presents first before he comes home because he's still Christmas shopping right now. So that's the first priority. But I did like go on to some pregnancy tags for some pregnancy questions because I didn't really know like where to start with a pregnancy Q&A because I didn't ask anyone for questions. So we're just going to do like a pregnancy tag, and if you guys happen to have any questions, if there's anyone in the chat, which I see one person, hi, I hope that you're doing so good. And I'm not sure if you've ever been to these lives before, but if you have, thanks for being here. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions. It's kind of just like open. But I am excited to be here and sit with whoever comes on. So we'll start, I guess, before I start rapping, with the first and second question. So how many months pregnant am I? I want to say 4.5, like almost 5. I'm almost halfway, which literally blows my mind. I can't believe it's going by as fast as it feels. I feel like part of that is because like we waited a long time to tell people. So by the time we told everyone, it feels like it's almost halfway over, which it is. So we just waited so long. But I really like to like keep it to ourselves for those first few months. I didn't feel compelled to tell people. I kind of was just like internalizing everything in that first trimester. So I was totally okay with waiting until after the first trimester to start telling people. And that's what we did. And the second question is if I'm craving anything right now. And I want to say I am, but I'm having more like food aversions. So I'm currently not really able to eat meat. I don't want anything to do with meat. I feel like it's just grossing me out lately. And I know that it's so vital in pregnancy. So I've been trying to like figure out other protein supplements and like just different ways to get those nutrients. And I'm not really that creative because I'm not like a vegetarian and I haven't really ever been down that road before. So that's kind of all new to me. But yeah, I have had some food aversions. This is going to be rattling because this is like Deza's cat stand, and she thinks that I'm like, I guess, playing with her in a way, that my laptop's on it. And yeah, I just hope we don't go down at some point. But yeah, don't mind me just awkwardly trying to fit this wrapping paper. So yeah, food aversions, meat. Food cravings, I would say, is more like on the sweet side. Like, love fruit. I wish it was summer because I just feel like there's like obviously such a better variety of fruit on the East Coast, and there's so much more in season. Right now, I think the only thing that I'm still able to get a hold of that's not terribly bad organic or terribly expensive is apples. So I've been loving apples, like sweet fruits and salads, but like not necessarily like your regular like Caesar salad, like if there's fruit in the salad. And then what else do I like? bagels, and cream cheese. That's also another go-to. I think just because it's like something easy for me to eat in the morning, if that makes sense. And another thing I've been in the mood for, like having every day, is yogurt. And so, like, basically, yeah, like dairy products and fruit have been my top cravings. That was like a really long way to just say dairy and fruit. Let's get to the next question. What prenatal vitamin are you taking? I take the My Kind Organics. I think it's just called My Kind. There's like a bigger brand. What is it called? Garden of Life. Garden of Life, My Kind Organic Vitamins. And the reason why I like these prenatals is because they're vegetarian. So definitely a smoother way to do that. I love the paper with the lines in it. This is Jared's paper, by the way. How stinking cute. I love me some plaid. So they're vegetarian, and that just makes it a whole lot easier to digest. And I never had anything to compare it to, but I did have some nausea and stuff in the first trimester, and I had to wait to take my prenatals until like the afternoon. So even those like affected me a little bit, but they're really gentle on my stomach. The only downside to them is that you have to remember to take them 3 times a day to get like the full serving. So I would say that's like the struggle. But other than that, it meets like all the requirements that it should, as far as I know, for a prenatal vitamin. And yeah, it's very gentle. So for anyone with nausea or anything, I highly recommend My Kind Prenatal. All right, so I'm really not the best at wrapping. Like, honestly, I tried to get really cute this year. I didn't even show you guys what I got to wrap. Hold on. One moment while I butcher the end of this present. All right, not terrible. I'm not doing too bad yet. All right, so I'm going to show you some cute little things I got. So the wrapping paper, I'll show you one by one because it's probably going to fall off the couch. But I got this little decorating bows, like ribbon for decorating bows, was what I was trying to say. This is like a lace one and another little lace one. And then this is like the one that I got for Jared because it's like the manliest. But I like the natural colors. That's kind of what I'm feeling this year. I feel like every year now that we're like on our own, I want to start kind of like getting into the holiday spirit sooner and like put time into presents, because there's just something that's like fun about it, even though I'm not the best at it. But like I loved going to the store and like buying all these little things and just like keeping that in mind for the future. I'm excited about it. All right, here we go. Slipping away. All right, almost done with the first present. All right, let's see. Here we go. Ta-da! We're done. Present number 1. I'm going to put a cute little bow on that one. Let's see our next question. All right. Did I have morning sickness and am I going on a baby moon? I'm so sorry for this shaking situation. So did I have morning sickness and am I going on a baby moon? I didn't have morning sickness, but there was times I had like nausea until I think like maybe 11, 12 weeks from the time I found out. So like, yeah, 4 or 5 weeks. Or I think it came a little bit later, but I had a lot of nausea, and that nausea was like kind of crippling. It had me on the couch for a really long time. Like basically the whole first trimester, I was spending a lot of time on the couch. And thankfully I had taken a break from doula work, so I didn't feel like I had the stress of working on top of not being able to like fully function. But I did definitely feel it, which I don't remember with Lila when I was pregnant with her. So yeah, it was intense enough for me to like not feel good and not really want to eat anything, which just kind of makes everything worse. And if I didn't eat anything, it just made me really lightheaded. And that was just something that it was a struggle. I had to like figure out a way to eat something but not feel too gross. And a lot of my go-tos were something easy, like just a little bowl of cereal in the morning, or just a little bit of a couple saltines. Something like really light was how I got through that time period. And also avoiding like drinking any teas or my prenatal vitamins in the morning. That also really helped. And thankfully, no, I didn't get sick though. And as far as a baby moon, I don't know yet. I feel like that's something I would really want to do, especially because with a second baby, like I don't know how often we're going to get the opportunity to go away or yeah, I could say we're really lucky right now with the support that we have with Lila. Like if we want to take a night, we can. If we want to go away for a weekend, we can. But with 2 kids and some of my like goals for that first year, I would definitely like to go away and to have a baby moon. I just don't know where yet. There's this really cute place that I didn't film and put up, but I went to on like a weekend getaway to Baltimore, and Jared's mom and sister and I went to Fells Point, and it's the cutest little town in Baltimore. And I really, really want to go back. And that's like a drive from New Jersey. So I could see us doing like something small that's just like, you know, a little drive away. But as far as like going on an airplane or doing something like that, I just don't really feel called to doing that right now. But I do think it would be really fun. And I think it's important for us to like get away before this little baby comes. So I would say yes, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, all right, so where were we? Pick the next 2 questions. Will you find out the sex of the baby? What do you want? And do you have a name picked out yet? Um, we we don't know the sex of the baby, and we're not going to find out. We are going to do it old school, like some of the women that I know. I worked at a daycare for so long, and I'm actually working there right now. And some of the moms there that I got close with when I was younger, a lot of them waited. And by a lot, I mean like a small handful. And since since after I had Lila, I always thought that I want to wait for the next one. And I'm like, all of these other women do it, and then they're surprised on their big day. And yeah, so we're not going to find out. I just don't feel even the itch to know. I do have my hunches on what it is, but I'm gonna wait and save that for a different video because we're gonna do some wives' tales and just kind of trying to throw Jared's things in here without. Well, he's not watching this. Without me showing you what I got him. But yeah, I'm gonna save what we think the gender is, and also what we want, because I just don't feel like I want anything in particular, just like a healthy baby, and that's really all I'm setting my mind on. It's just a healthy little babe. I love that I had a girl first, and that's just because obviously the first child is a teacher, and I just feel so, I don't know, I feel like I handled being a girl mom better than I thought I would, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not really girly. I didn't really have much to offer in that respect. But I have had a lot of amazing tips from Jared's mom and from my mom and people that did it before me. So now I definitely feel more equipped to have a girl, if that makes sense. All right, here we go. Another loud one. Maybe not. This is never going to be graceful. Never going to be graceful. So yeah, I'm not really leaning towards boy or girl, but of course, if we were to have a boy, I would be really happy. And if we were to have a girl, I'm sure I would be so happy. And then again, we would be like, okay, so when are we going to have this boy? Like, that would definitely be on my mind if it were to be another girl. But I'm not necessarily leaning towards one or the other. And I forget what the other question was. Do you have a name picked out? Okay, so Jared, I picked out Lila's name. So when Lila was born, within the first year, Jared already had his name for if we had a boy, for the next one. So we are going with Jared's pick, and also a name that I really, really, really love. Obviously, if that's the name we're going to go with. And we're not going to share it, but we do have a name picked out. We do not have a girl name picked out yet. And that was also our hardest with Lila. We had a couple boy names picked out that we were kind of going back and forth on, but the girls' names, we had none. We literally agreed on Lila, and she was Lila. So I've waited on that conversation. I have not even opened up the baby name conversation because it was really tricky the first time for us. Okay. What have you done to prepare for baby's arrival? So far, I do have some things that I've done. And just to give the short version, I guess, I've just been trying to pay attention to my nutrition. And by arrival, I'm thinking prepare for the arrival as in birth. So maybe I shouldn't think of it in that way. Yeah, we've done nothing to prepare for this baby's arrival. But of course, when it comes to labor and birth, that's something that I'm thinking about every day and trying to take small steps every day to prepare for. But as far as the baby actually being here in our presence, in our home, we have nothing. We've done nothing. And by have nothing, I don't mean have nothing. We still have stuff from Lila's first year, but we haven't brought it out and made space for it yet. But that's something that I definitely want to do very, very soon, because we do have a small space, and yeah, it's something that I want to put some effort into, so we feel like we're making the most of the space that we do have. Okay, what's the best part of being pregnant for me, and what's the worst part of being pregnant? This is a hard question, because I feel just overall the best part of being pregnant is just being pregnant for me. I love the feeling of at least right now, I feel very comfortable, and I just like the spiritual feeling of being pregnant, if that makes sense. Like, to me, it just feels like life has a different meaning. Like, I just have a deeper purpose right now. It makes me a better partner. It makes me a more in tune mother. I just feel more awakened. Like, my senses are heightened, and I'm just more in mommy mode. And I think the reason why I like that so much is because my like natural state is more like working and planning, and yeah, this pregnancy has just made me feel really present and made me want to like just kind of like tap into those different sides of myself and just like kind of like, I don't know, just ground into them more and not be so flighty, because I feel like my normal personality is pretty like flighty and I'm always doing different things. But this has made me just like really take a step back and just be very mindful in my day-to-day routines and be grateful within them too, and not take things for granted. And it is the biggest reminder to just be grateful. So I would say the best part, my favorite part of being pregnant is just, yeah, that tapping into that presence more. And my worst part of being pregnant, yeah, I don't feel like there is a worst part. I feel like on my days where I'm like thinking about the future, maybe I wish I could do that less. I wish I could just like bring myself back to the present moment more. So I guess like sometimes I wonder about what that's going to look like and what providing for another little one is going to feel like and be like and how the dynamic is going to go. But I trust in God's timing and his plan. And I know that adding another one to our family is going to be a beautiful experience with its highs and lows and everything in between. So thinking about the future isn't always a bad thing. So yeah, that wraps up those two questions. Let's see what's next, shall we? By the way, this is question, where are we? Oh, question 12. Okay. Who will be at your birth? And what is my birth plan? So I'm not really sure who's going to be at my, just like flicked a little fuzz. I'm not really sure who's going to be at my birth. I feel pretty good in the team that we have so far, but I don't have a doula yet, which I'm actually really surprised that I haven't gotten a doula yet. But I think the reason why I've waited so long is because I was a doula, I am a doula, and I just feel like I don't want to rush. And like the first trimester was so overwhelming. I was just trying to find out my provider or my birth keeper and who's going to be like on the medical side of birth, not necessarily like in the hospital, but like medicinal / traditional, and my medical team, like my OB, like those were the things I was trying to kind of navigate in the beginning. And now that I'm in the second trimester, I'm realizing that I need my support team too. So the one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is my support team. And of course, Jared is going to be my main support. And he was for Lila, and he was amazing. 1 second. Okay, we're done. And I felt really good with him, but there was a time where he was tired. Like, that man was napping right before Lila came out. So I know he's going to get tired. I know we're going to have to figure that one out. So I need to find my doula. But as far as that goes, My sister, I want my sister to be at my birth, just to kind of keep a hand out for Lila if she needs something, if I need some space. She will be here, at least in our plans for that. And I'm so grateful that she's going to be home because she actually moved away to Colorado and just came home like right before I found out I was pregnant. So I'm really, really happy that the timing worked out, that she'll be here for the birth, hopefully. And then if all goes to plan, my birth plan is to have a home birth, and that's just as far as we've gotten. That's where we're at right now. And I feel really good with also like just making more informed choices in this pregnancy. I do have a video coming out that's all about like empowered pregnancy and just like really owning the whole pregnancy and labor experience and how I'm kind of like setting myself up to do that in the best way that I can to prepare. So overall, like I don't necessarily have a birth plan, but there are like specific points that I really want to strongly consider no matter where I have my baby, which is like delayed cord clamping and no immediate like vaccines for the baby and things like that. But overall, I'm kind of going into it like this is going to be a home birth and it's going to go in a way where I have choices and am in the know of what's happening with my body the whole time. And that's obviously what I'm preparing for in my mind. But I will also think about like the hospital side and what my wishes are if I were to have my baby there. That was really loud. Okay. Am I scared about labor? I'm not scared. I feel not necessarily prepared, but I feel good. I know that my body can do it. I know that I have the resources to feel confident, to feel good. Childbirth education has been my biggest teacher, and of course my in-person doula experience. But childbirth ed, taking that active birth childbirth ed course with Janet Velasquez and teaching it has made me so confident in birth. And not just for me, like for everyone. Like birth is so magnificently perfect, and we just don't have the answers to how or why our bodies do some things, but our bodies know why they're doing those things. And the reason that I think childbirth ed is so important is because I don't feel like that's common knowledge. Like, I just think it's so valuable to really go into childbirth education. And I remember that feeling of sitting in my first session with her when I was becoming a teacher. And even though I was a doula for a year already, I had this whole new sense of confidence in birth after that first session. And I didn't expect that. I thought that I already knew a lot. I thought that I had already read a lot. But actually being in the presence of someone who knows birth and believes in it and teaches it was revolutionary for me and my mindset. So I'm really, really grateful that I did that before I got pregnant. And that has made me confident and not scared in birth and not fearful. And of course, I will be continuing to learn every day from here until labor and afterwards. But there is no sense of fear or being scared at all, which I'm so happy for, so happy about. And the next question 15, is will I film it? I want to film it. That would be my goal, is to film as much as I can. I want to have it documented for myself. And of course, to share if I feel called to doing that at that time or down the road. But I don't know if we will or not. I really, really want to. I want to be set up too. So I know we'll definitely be filming part of labor. But my dream is to have the birth filmed and in a way where I feel good about it, if that makes sense. I hope that it's right. I'm not going to have like a birth photographer or anything. So I'm just hoping that I can kind of figure out a way to do that. But I know I'll be in like labor land. So I may need somebody like my sister or somebody else to kind of step in and make sure that they're manning the camera. But if you're in New Jersey, if you know anybody that's like a new birth photographer or someone that's trying to gain experience, I would love to kind of like collaborate in that way with somebody, but I'm not necessarily like hiring one and taking one on at my birth. So if that makes sense, yeah, I would like to like help out a new birth photographer, but I'm not going to actively hire one, at least right now. So yeah, I hope I can film it. I hope I can get some really good pictures and video of it for sure. Will I breastfeed? I will breastfeed. I breastfed Lila for 6 months, and we were supplementing with formula at one point. I made like a video on like tips and things that I learned in breastfeeding and as a postpartum doula, because a lot of the reason why I started supplementing and stopped breastfeeding was because I didn't know enough. I didn't know how milk changes or how their appetite changes or the different like developmental stages that kind of like goes hand in hand with the breastfeeding journey. So I stopped with her early. So my goal is to breastfeed this little baby for as long as I can without really any like goal in mind, but just to use the information that I've learned to have a longer experience, a better experience. Even though I breastfed for 6 months, I wasn't necessarily like confident about the process the whole time. So one of my priorities postpartum is to have my resources lined up for breastfeeding. So if I do need the help of a lactation consultant or somebody to help me out, I have that lined up already, because it is like a really huge priority to me to have that experience again. That was probably, I don't want to show this on the camera. That was probably my like most missed experience from postpartum is breastfeeding. And there was a time, I don't know if any of you have had like an experience like this, but there was a time when Lila was like, I don't know, close to 1 year, where I was trying to actually reestablish breastfeeding. And I tried it for a couple days, and apparently some people do still have like good results on reestablishing milk supply like after stopping for a few months, because I had continued to pump after the 6 month period and then I kind of stopped. But yeah, I remember like trying to reestablish my milk supply and just getting so excited about it, and then it not working and being like, oh, I missed my mark. Like I missed where I could have gotten help. And yeah, I just don't want to have that same experience again. Yeah, it's such a beautiful experience to have breastfeeding, to just be breastfeeding with your child, like, and no matter how long. So I just hope to make some better choices and not like listen to everybody like telling me, oh, just stop, like it's too hard or something like that. I wish I would have dug a little bit deeper for myself and would have known that like there are experts out there that want the same goal as me. So yeah. And this is the last question that I have. Do you have a nursery theme idea? And I don't have a nursery. I just had a lisp for a second. I don't have a nursery theme idea. We're going to have a shared room, a shared nursery with our bedroom for the first however many months. And when we leave this apartment, we will graduate into probably a bigger apartment where they may have their own space. But I do plan on having like their own little area in our room that I'm going to decorate. But because we're not finding out the gender, I'm probably just going to keep it a little gender neutral. Maybe some stars and moons and like earthy things. That's typically what I like gravitate towards when it comes to baby things. I like the earthy colors like greens and grays and blues. Deza, my laptop is gonna go flying. Okay. So yeah, that's not, I guess I'm thinking more tones, not necessarily like themes yet. But yeah, that's really it. I only have a few other gifts to wrap of Jared's, and then I'm gonna be almost done with wrapping. So I am going to stop the video here. And I just want to thank you to some of you that have hopped in and now and listened to this little pregnancy tag. Thank you for being here. And I'm just so excited. You can look forward to like more variety of content. Like I'm not just going to be talking about pregnancy over the course of the next 5 months. At this time, like I really am just trying to like incorporate more into my channel and just do a little variety since I can't really vlog that often. I'm back at work and the daily vlogs aren't as regular. So there's going to be a lot more variety, a lot more fun things coming, different things coming. So I'm really excited about it. But I just thank you so much for being here. And I wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a safe holiday weekend. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh, I wanted to show you. How cute is this? It says Grandma's Peach Sangria, and it's like a little mason jar. This isn't sangria, obviously, but Jared got it from work. Someone like actually brought him sangria from this little homemade, well, at least it looks homemade, jar. It's so stinking cute. Anyway, see you guys next time.